In your path, I think that the biggest transition happened when you said you became a Christian,
Yeah.
and then you start living a life of faith. Could you talk a bit more? What was the attraction to pick a faith? What happened, and what was the changing point in your life that you chose to follow a faith, and that's the journey?
So I didn't actually choose to become a Christian. Growing up in institutions, I spent my whole childhood locked up from the age of 9 to 18. I used to go to all these Christian groups. Mm-hmm. They'd bring in games and watch videos and bring food in. And to tell you the truth, growing up as a kid, I only went to those Christian groups to get away from the mainstream part of the prison. Mm-hmm. And there was a different thing about these Christian people. They never wanted anything from me. But the people I grew up around always want something from you. Mm-hmm. But these were just good people, so I could just relax and be me. But having spent 26 years in prisons, institutions, my whole life I just wanted to be a normal person, to go to one school, have one group of friends, to go on family holidays with mum and dad, be able to get up in the morning, run up to bed, jump into bed with mum and dad for a cuddle. Never had any of that. My whole life I just wanted to be normal, and I couldn't understand why it is that I was like I was. And I hated myself, the way everything about me. And then I remember in 2001 I was selling 2.5 kilos of methamphetamines a day, lots of guns and drugs and other stuff. And I got raided by the police. I had the TRG, Tactical Response Group, come over the top with a helicopter over the roof, come through all the front and back, shotguns, bulletproof vests. I had my wife laying in the ground in the middle of the corridor with a shotgun to her head. I had 2 kids at that stage with my wife, 5 and 1. And for me it was just like, I could see my kids going to live the life that I lived, and I've never spent any time with my kids. I never took them to the park, never done anything normal with them. I was always out selling drugs or sleeping with prostitutes on my wife's back. And anyway, I had to go over the road, and my wife being a country girl, they play a lot of sports. I went over the road. She'd enrolled my 5-year-old in this grasshopper soccer thing. And a great kid with a grasshopper soccer, it's an introduction to like soccer or football. And the deal is the dads had to stand there with their legs spread, and if the child kicks the ball through the dad's legs, then the dad falls on the ground and makes them all fluffy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I've never done that stuff. And so my heart's going 100 miles an hour, and I'm thinking if he kicks the ball through my legs, I'm out of here. So this one kid kicked it through his dad, he fell on the ground like a goose. And then another one, he fell on the ground like a goose. And then my son's turn, he kicked it through my legs. And I just turned my back on my son and I just cried. I couldn't do it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I just left him in the park, went over to the wife. But when I turned my back on my son, I just remember saying, I can't do it, man. And I said, God, if you're real, I need your help. I just got raided the day before, then I've got to try and do this stuff. And that one prayer, it was just stuff started happening to speed it up over a course of 2 weeks. I had all these people coming across my path that I didn't know, telling me that God loved me. And I had 3 people in the space of 15 Ks, completely different strangers, different cars while I was hitching. I got in one car, he said, God loved me, I had a plan of purpose for life. I got out of his car, had a good sook. Next person the same, the next person the same. And to speed it up, I went home to the missus, gave my missus, grabbed my kids, I went and booked in a motel room. And because I had to get out of my environment because I couldn't understand what was happening. It was like someone was chasing me down and offering me everything I ever wanted to be normal. And I woke up 3 o'clock in the morning and I had a dream. And in my dream, God said clearly, he said, Peter, you're going to tell people how I changed your life. Mm. And I had his presence hit me from the top of my head to the tip of my toes. And I woke my wife up, I just had a dream from God. And he told me I had to go to church. I mean, I've never been to church in my life. I've broken into a few, but I've never been to one. And anyway, got in the car, got the missus and kids, drove around all day, all these different churches, everyone I put up. And I felt, not that one, not that one. And eventually, 4:45 or whatever, I pulled into Morley, and there's a church called New Life Church. Mm-hmm. And I heard this voice in my head, I want you going there. And the second I walked in the door, his presence hit me, bawling my eyes out, and he says, Peter, I want you to give up everything you own and follow me. And I was bawling my eyes out and I asked Jesus Christ to my heart. And I had to give away all my cars, all my stuff I bought with drug money. And I went out and booked myself into a caravan park with my missus and kids, gave all the hot stuff away. I swapped my dodgy lawyer for a legit lawyer and went back to jail. And the rest is history. Just been a Christian now 20 odd years, and yeah, I've learned a lot, been through a lot.
Wow, you have summarized so much of history in just like this.